So for the Magic World Championship coming up, the prize pool was originally $1 million, but it has been now completely gutted by 750,000, leaving only 250,000 left for a prize pool. So Andre Strasky not happy about this, spending all year trying to qualify for this event. Well, not qualify, but also to be prepared for this event. World's prize pool gutted by 750k, which was expected, but still kind of sad. Not sure how much I'll prepare. Feeling zero motivation to play Magic at the moment, so I'm kind of hoping for a flat payout so I can just skip it. So I guess everyone should just agree to a split before the tournament even starts. Spoken like a true Magic player, really. What do we got here? So like, you know, this is not the first time Wizards done something like this. Does everyone remember the Green Light Fund? Is there still some? I don't know if we can even find the Green Light Fund. Can we find that quickly? It seems like very early on, Wizards was like, oh, there's something called a Green Light Fund. Hold on, Green Light Fund MTG. Oh, there we go. Green Light Fund now open for submissions. Well, how much were they pointing at? We're going to set aside up to $1 million. $1 million here. $1 million there. Another $1 million over here. They were willing to splash millions of dollars everywhere. So yeah, they were going to, and anyway, this thing is gone. I mean, as far as all content creator, no content creator has gotten any word about the Green Light Fund back. They got like absolutely nothing. We're willing to fund anything from $5,000 to $250,000 ideas. All right, well. Anyway, that didn't happen. Now, getting back to the World Championship, where's the confirmation that the money not being the same? Give us the proof, or I guess we don't see it here anymore. Yeah, here we go. Through the gauntlets, the finals, the Magic World Championship emerges. Shit, I can't read these Roman numerals. What is this, 27? Magic World Champion 27? I feel like we haven't had that many World Championships ever since they rebranded the Pro Tour to the Magic Fest. Or sorry, not Magic Fest. What are they called? The Pro Tour. They rebranded Grand Prix to Magic Fests. Mythic Championship, that's what it was. So taking place October 8th to 10th with a $250,000 prize pool. Ooh, that's a big oof. That's huge. Competition will be among the best of the best for Magic's most prestigious event. Yes, well, Magic's most prestigious event just got a huge prize cut. Gigantic. Any other comments here? Don't forget to check all those amazing secret layers. Yeah, so Wizards getting a little backlash here, given that, you know, they're making more money than ever before because of the secret layers. You know, they're just printing the money with the secret layers, but then all of a sudden they don't have so much money for the pros. But like, oh my god, $1 million? $1 million? That is so much money for a Magic event. It's just crazy. Just crazy. I hope first place gets a secret layer of their card. That would be a cool prize worth $750,000. Anyway. Wizards cutting back on the pro scene. Nothing unusual. This is nothing new. Oh, what else I want to say about this? Oh, I think I said everything I want to say. I mean, truth be told, who watches the Magic World Championship here? Raise a hands. Who watches? I don't even know when it happens. Not to mention, I still don't really care about it all that much. I mean, if it's no Modern, you got no Nikachu. I love the old Players Championship. They had like a lot of cool formats. They had Modern, they had Cube. I think they probably had Standard as well. They had a lot of very interesting formats. But I guess that was the Players Championship, wasn't an actual World Championship. Does YouTube replay? Yeah, you know what? I'll count that. If you don't watch it live, it's okay. You show your support through the replays. That's still marketing. I do when it's on. All right, Lee watches the World Championship. No modern, no scrubbins. I'm sort of in a similar boat. I can't expect the World Championship to always be modern. But I do expect it to be exciting. I watched when it was paper play stream. It is a bit different, isn't it? It is a bit, you know, we watch a lot of digital Magic, but then when it's on like the greatest, it's like when it's the World Championship, when it's like the Mythic Championship, it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel legitimate or something. It's only legitimized through paper Magic for some reason. I can definitely feel that myself. Chuck Norris says, I watch almost every National, Modern, Legacy, and Vintage tournament. That's sick. I watch the replays, modern ones. James says, I'd like to see some private investors do a series of pro tournaments and get it sponsored by Blizzard to spite Wizards. Well, yeah, but they won't get it sponsored by Blizzard because Blizzard will just spend their money to oh, you mean pro tournaments of just Blizzard tournaments? Paper is the only way I'll watch it. It is a bit different when paper. If it's not modern or legacy, it's not interesting for me. My God, it will be a long time. I don't know when the next time we're going to see legacy in the World Championship again. Adam, also a paper player. D-Tie Gaming. Well, I mean, standard is crap pending circumstances. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. Spencer says, I watch the World's replays when I hear one of my favorite pros like Chapin or Nassif are in it. All right, so you wait to see who. I mean, okay, this is a great point Spencer has here. Spencer has a great point here. And that is, the World Championship can be a lot more interesting if the players in there are interesting. And now, okay, let's take a story back to chess. Now in chess, there's a lot of really big pro grandmaster level players that are invited to very big tournaments. And here's the deal. You have two choices. There is sort of an ID problem in the chess world where you could take an intentional draw, maybe a little too often, a little too early on in the game. It happens, but you could take an ID on move 40, which would be reasonable, or you take an ID on move 15, which is not so reasonable. And here's the deal. If you are invited to this tournament, which has millions of dollars in sponsors, and you don't play, you're not exciting. I mean, don't expect your ass getting called back. So to an extent, even the world, the best chess players in the world, they gotta put on a show. They gotta be exciting for the coverage. They got to be exciting. Otherwise, why would you get invited again? Why are you entitled to all that money? Now, why does Spencer want to watch Chapin or Nassif? Because these guys are influencers. They're big community players. They've written a lot of articles. They speak to Spencer. Spencer wants to see his champions win. And to an extent, I think there is some responsibility on you as a professional Magic player. You got to be a public figure. Playing the game is just not enough. I mean, you got to help the esport environment by being more involved in the community. Maybe you got to write more articles or something. I don't know. I'm not too sure what has to happen. But Spencer's looking out for his favorites. Okay, let's stop talking about worlds and let's start laundering money with Raghavans. I actually looked it up. Money laundering is not demonetized by YouTube, so we are good to go talk on. We could talk about money laundering for forever. What the hell is going on here? Something about, like, how did this start? Every 2 life points take off clothes. Not sure where that came from, but sure. Anyway, okay. I think that we're done with this. Welcome, everyone, to the morning show where we discuss all things Magic the Gathering. Get your questions fired up and let's have a great discussion this morning. Also, we do Decklist reviews, so if you got a 75, like some feedback on, submitted to us, and both myself and the community would love to give you some feedback. So brew up your cups of coffee. Let's brew up some magic this morning. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for June 18th. Or 18th? We're on the 18th now? 18th of 2021. I am your host, Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. Good morning, everyone. Oh, Chazzy Brown, good. I mean, happy birthday. No shout out needed. Just wanted to say hi. Well, happy birthday anyway. Everyone welcome. Everyone give Chazzy Brown a happy birthday. Chazzy Brown's been around for a long time. Wastelands crushing on Magic the Gathering Online due to Secret Lair. I have no... Oh, Wastelands crashing on Magic. So there's like a new Secret Lair Wasteland or something? Wasteland was already like a pretty overprinted card, and I don't know enough people play Legacy Online. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Mareep. 6mm MTG Ectoplasm. Lucas, Ryan, Leon, Taz, Lukash, Merch, Walter, Ryan, Louise, Mango, Manuel, Stefano, Unholy God Machine, Vala, Adam Smith, Yan. Good morning, everyone. So you know the deal. 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question. Helps me find your questions amongst all the comments I'm getting on 2 YouTube channels and a Facebook fan page. Let's see if there are any questions in between. I don't think anyone submitted anything yet. But I do have a super chat. Sathrill, thank you very much. Great show, Nikachu. Keep it up. You're welcome. I will keep it up. And thanks for the super chat. Okay, Eric Ego. If you were on a creature card, what would you ETB? What would your ETB or ability be? I don't know. I never thought about these are really abstract questions. I guess if I were on a creature card, what am I be? I guess if I'm on a creature card, that's mean I invented this card. And if I invented that card, then that means it's a 1-mana champion of the Parish Merfolk. When ETB, I do nothing, but the ability, whenever another Merfolk enters the battlefield, I get a +1/+1 counter. That's how it works. Opinion on new secret lairs? I don't know about any of the secret lairs, to be honest. I don't pay attention to the secret lair news, but let's go take a look. Secret lair news? I don't know. This was 22 hours ago. So we've got a Mother of Runes secret lair. Rebecca Guay returns. The return of Rebecca Guay. Maybe the comeback. Not really a comeback. I mean, this artist went on to just do bigger and better things. It seems like, I mean, if you make it if you make it as an artist, you have to graduate away from Magic the Gathering at some point. Rebecca Guay returns with a Mother of Runes secret lair. Looks nice. Wondering if it should have been Giver of Runes to appease the Merfolk, sorry, not the Merfolk, the modern players. But you know what? A lot of people play Mother of Runes, I'm sure, and Commander as well. I don't know if this is the only one out there though. Cookies and milk. Do you think the Titan decks are too strong now with Urza Saga in the deck? I think they're always too strong, but you know what? Whatever. Modern's a really powerful format. Definitely they got stronger with Urza Saga, and they were pretty heated. Oh, all the Titan, the Titan masters on Twitter, they were pretty heated when people, especially Sodek. Let's bring this up. Let's bring up a little bit of drama. Let's go look at this. Some words were thrown online. Where was it? Here it is. Okay, so Saffronov says, this is mostly how I feel. Urza Saga, powering up things like Affinity and Lantern Control, that's sweet. But the part that I dislike is that it is also powering up decks like Amulet that don't need help. Except like Amulet will always need help. You know, I also, you know, the Primeval Titan can even can go look for Urza Saga if it really wanted to. And then Sodek throws out maybe little bit of a harsh but hot take. So ban Amulet and move on, perhaps? And then, House of Mana is like, Amulet is so easily exploitable, though, and it just so happens the majority of General Urza Saga hate is good against Amulet. If you take away Saga, Amulet becomes significantly worse deck. Nothing from Amulet previously is a fucking problem. Laugh my ass off. But, like, I mean, where there was a part... Or Titan. Then Saffron Olive says, maybe we should ban Titan. And then Sodek tagged F. Pavlush. And F. Pavlush is like, hey, so instead of banning the busted card that makes broken strategies, like the Asmorano decks, completely unreasonable and wins the game by itself without requiring the player to play a single spell, we ban the 6-mana creature? Sounds reasonable. Now, first off, that is very disingenuous to say these days. Primeval Titan is not a 6-mana creature anymore. It is a 3-mana creature. Come on, Francisco. You know you get the Titan out by turn 3 incredibly frequently. It is not a 6-mana creature anymore, so that doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. What else? Remember when they banned Bridge from Below instead of Hogak? What else do we have? What else do we got? Titan ban would kill the archetype. Amulet of Vigor, however, is like Rite of Flame for Storm. The deck can function without it too. It's just a turn slower. In my opinion, it's better to weaken the archetype than to kill it. Now, I'm actually with Sodek here. I actually think you could ban probably any card in the Amulet deck, and it will still be a really powerful deck. You ban Amulet of Vigor, the Valakut, the Dryad of the Elysian Grove, Summoner's Pact, I don't know. You could ban anything, and it will still be a super powerful deck. Big player in the metagame. I just find it... it's almost cringy when one of the best decks in the format needs to get, like, massive defense to cards getting banned from them. Like, the deck is just really, really powerful. They're really, really powerful. This is what I was saying before. That, like... I don't know, when the deck is on top, they defend their cards like crazy. They defend their cards like crazy. Absolutely like crazy. And we know that there's a green-white Reclaimer deck that's sort of possible. I don't know, maybe it's not the same because they banned, what's it called, Field of the Dead. But literally, I have lost to Amulet without an Amulet on the battlefield so many times. So many times. But anyway, Urza Saga. I don't know, so here's the question. Like I've said on this show many times, Amulet has gotten so many cards banned out of Modern. Is Urza Saga going to be the next one? Because so far, Urza Saga is playing nice in all the other archetypes. It's playing nice. It's really playing nice. Remember when they banned Summer Bloom to weaken it? Yeah, exactly. It's curious. Would Summer Bloom be... If we exchanged Amulet for Summer Bloom, would that be fair? Would that be fair? There's a lot of interest. And honestly, in my opinion, now I'm not calling for the banning of Primeval Titan here, but I don't think Field of the Dead would see that much play if both Uro and Primeval Titan are not in the format. I think those are the two cards that make the card really bad. No other deck could play it. It's not like Blue-White Control could play with Field of the Dead. They never used it. They never used it. Ban Dryad, stop them having outs to Moon. I would like to see the Dryad ban personally. I would like to see the Dryad ban personally. Mostly because I hate that they have access to Valak the Molten Pinnacle for no damn reason. Like the cost to playing a Primeval Titan, and it should be that, okay, you play the Primeval Titan, and you're almost close to winning, but not quite. You give me an opportunity to come back and kill you for victory. But with Dryad of the Elysian Grove and Valakut, Titan enters the battlefield, gains haste, attacks, blows up my opportunity to attack back, and then I don't have any way of winning the game. And that's how it is with a lot of decks. Anyway, interesting stuff. I have a super chat. Titan Mayhem, what was the first Thank you very much for the super chat. What was the first Modern deck you built and the first reasonable finish you put up in any sort of tournament? First Modern deck, Bogles. I got crushed. I got annihilated. The deck sucked. Bogles was quoted as like, you know, an entry point into Modern, but in actuality, that was a very hard deck to play because it was a deck that really needed a sideboard guide, and I didn't have it. I didn't know I had to side in like Path to Exile and Dismember for every deck, because every deck played Spellskite, because every deck had Spellskite for Splinter Twin, and there was like splash damage against my Bogles deck. Anyway, I got wiped out really badly. Switched to Merfolk and started, I switched to Merfolk, immediately top 8'd a PTQ, followed up by another top 8 and another PTQ. First PTQ I think was around 80 players, second PTQ was like 175, so it was very nice finishes, and basically played Merfolk since then. You get 2 good finishes under your belt, and you're there for forever. Stuck to the deck, you're glued. New Merfolk has been great. Well, you never know, Scrub and Scrubs. They might not ban Dryad. They could ban Valakut. Valakut's been banned before. Valakut has been banned before, and it would be a reason. From my perspective, be a reasonable ban. Maybe from other people's perspective, Dryad is the reasonable ban, because yes, Dryad plays around the Blood Moon very, very well. You have 1 green source. Okay, your Blood Moon does nothing, because then I play Dryad and I have the mana anyway. So, and of course, one of the ways of attacking the Amulet deck is supposed to be through Blood Moon. And, okay, they have very good answers to our answers, and Dryad is just good by itself normally anyway. Just bring back Uro. Yes, let's bring back Uro. We need to bring we have to unban Uro to help fight against the Titan decks. Simple as that. Simple as that. Casey, do you think there is any chance cards could be unbanned in Legacy, or do you think the banned cards will always be too powerful? You know what? It's been a really, 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 really long time. I don't think they care about... Well, do you know what? To be honest, no one's fired up about this topic. If you make a big ruckus about this, if you can create like a big movement on Twitter, you probably could get something unbanned. Like, we gotta unban Scroll Rack, unban Scroll Rack. Why is Scroll Rack not unbanned? Or sorry, not Scroll Rack. What was it called? Is it Scroll Rack? I don't think so. The Rack. No, Scroll Rack. What the hell is the Mind Twist? No, it's called Mind Twist. What is the Mind Twist like card? Well, maybe it's called Mind Twist itself. If you can get... this is stupid. This is a really stupid card on the ban list. Like, it's obviously not oppressive at all. There is no reason for this card on the ban list, but if you make a big enough movement to get this thing unbanned, they will probably do it. It's just that no one talks about it. There isn't enough BNR announcement talk around Legacy that, like, this is just going to be banned for forever. Because no one cares. No one cares. RG says, I played Amulet for the very first time a little over a week ago. I made a lot of mistakes and still beat a guy playing Jund professionally. Dex busted, not too hard. It's probably also a good matchup, too. Beglos says, I finally get you live. I wanted to ask you, is Suspend now a staple? If not for at least 2 for a mono blue sideboard, exile any creature or use it defensively seems strong. You know what? I will buy myself some Suspense. It's not too bad. I don't know if it's always the best position card. I certainly don't really like it while I'm playing with Chalice of the Void, but I like the option to suspend my own creature. And against Amulet decks, you know, see, when you bounce something to the opponent's hand, they can replay it either immediately or next turn, but Suspend guarantees that this turn and the next turn, that creature isn't going to be around. So it's not as powerful as, say, Dismember killing something, but it's not as weak as bouncing with, like, Petty Theft. So I would get some... I'm going to buy some Suspense. Lafatan, speaking of influencers, it was fun to watch you play in the top 8. Will you play in more GPs? Absolutely. I'm just waiting for the GPs. Waiting for the GPs. How about printing opposition agent in Modern? I don't know. Do we want this in Modern? Flash, you control your opponents while they're searching their libraries. While an opponent is searching their library, they exile each card they find. You may play those cards for as long as they remained exiled, and you spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast them. What's this gonna do in Modern for the most part? Like, would this be good again? Okay, so would this be good against... It's like mostly like a strip mine, right? Or some sort of 3-2 stifle. Okay, hold on. Exile each card they find. You may play those cards as long as they remain exiled. Oh, you can play, so you can actually take the land. Interesting. Seems strong, but maybe not too bad. Is Tron wrecked with all the new hate? Not really. They shouldn't be. I don't know what it is. Sometimes the new format comes out and like no one wants to play Tron. I think Eldrazi Tron very well positioned right now. They might not have a good Titan matchup, but outside of that, I think they have good matchups all around. They should be proud to be Titan players. Proud. Mr. Modern Metagame, thank you so much for the super chat. What's going to be the best Modern deck for competitive play for the time being? Looks like Amulet. Either Amulet or Is It Prowess would be my guess. It's not going to be Heliod Company anymore because they've got a bad matchup in the metagame. Hardened Scales Affinity is serious business, but it looks like it's going to be Amulet. It really looks like it's going to be Amulet. Just play that Urza Saga. Got turn 3 Amulet. No problem. Just get the Amulets out. Still add mana. No problem. What about Hull Breacher? I can't tell if this is a good card or not. Like, people, I don't know, people drawing extra cards is not really that big of a deal, I think, in Modern. It's hard, like, Amulet doesn't draw extra cards. Heliod Company doesn't draw extra cards. Is It Prowess draws a few extra cards, but it's just, overall, it's not going to matter. Opposition Agent could be used against Titan and against greedy mana bases, like when they search their library with Summoner's Pact, I guess. That would be good. Oh, you're looking for a Titan? Well, but, and then you get to play. You can, they don't go directly into play. You have to cast, you have to spend the mana. Well, I still got it here. While an opponent is searching their library, they exile each card they find. You may play those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and you may spend mana as, yeah, so you still have to cast. If you take their Primeval Titan, you still have to cast the damn thing. Peyton Ogle, if it comes, there's a 2-card combo with a black elf from Morningtide that will make opponent never draw a card and lose 3 life. Yeah, but I bet it's going to be really expensive. Jacob, what control deck do you think is the strongest at the moment? Blue-Eye Control. Simple as that. Classic Blue-Eye Control. Could be Esper. Esper probably is in a pretty close second as well. TCG Chronicle, are the new cards that Fish received enough to push it up a tier, or are the upgrades that Modern Horizons 2 provided to other decks keeping it in stasis? No, I think Fish definitely gained a lot from Modern Horizons 2. My only concern was the old metagame coming back, because the old metagame, it didn't help very much against the old metagame, but I think it helps in the new metagame for the most part. A lot of the new decks that have come up, I like my chances against those decks, but when it comes to like beating Is It Prowess, Heliod Company, Eldrazi Tron, I don't feel as good. Although I think Svialoon does help me a lot against, like, say, Eldrazi Tron and Is It Prowess. Why did they cut $750,000? Because they don't think it's worth it. That's why. They don't think it's worth it. We're not. $1 million for these players? They're like, fuck it. We're not doing this. We gave them enough money. Now we're going to keep the money. We're going to put it... and who knows where they're going to put it. It's probably not cost-cutting measure. They're just like, you know what? We better put the $750,000. Hasbro probably said, hey. You gave them like $1 million before, and we only got like a few thousand viewers. That ad revenue didn't really pay off the $1 million. You can give them $250,000. You can give it. So probably Hasbro had a heavy hand in deciding to cut the $750,000. Remember, Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast doing really well. Hasbro not doing so well. You know, when your business model depends on like physical toys that need to be manufactured, and the manufacturing has completely slowed down, and no one can go to store, or people don't really go to stores to get the toys. Makes it difficult to sell your product and stay profitable. So they're probably just sucking all the secret lair money that Wizards of the Coast is making to keep them afloat. Big Daddy Hasbro, it's like, hey, you pay up now. You pay up. You don't be paying those pros. You pay Daddy Hasbro. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Sean asks, your thoughts on Rug Cascade currently with Shardless Agent now in Modern? Looked like it was a very good deck in the beginning, but I have no idea where it went. I'm sure it's still a very playable deck. But it was like a huge presence in week 1, and then it shrank as the old metagame came back for week 2. Mr. Modern Metagame, about to play in a 1K event. That's why I wanted to know what to prepare for. When's the 1K event? I will have a top decks to beat by Monday-ish, maybe Tuesday, because I really want to see what the final results are for the next 2 Modern challenges. It's probably going to get, the first week I knew was going to be wild. Second week, I was a bit surprised to see a recession back to a little bit of the old metagame. And I bet we're going to have a more stable idea of what Modern is going to be after this next weekend. But, okay, if I already give you my gut feeling, you want to prepare for mostly Amulet. You want to prepare a lot for Is It Prowess. You want to prepare a lot for Hardened Scales Affinity. You want to prepare for, those would be the really big decks to prepare for. Probably Living End as well. Living End, keep that on your, that's got to be on your radar. What else? Oh, I'm missing something big. Blue-White Control, or sort of Blue-White X Control. I think there's a lot of those. Although they're not doing that great. There's a lot of it out there, but they're not doing that great. I'm missing something. There's like one big deck I can't think of. Is Jund well positioned in the metagame? No, not really. It's a deck. It's a round. No, not burn. What am I missing? So Amulet, Blitz. Oh, burn has a lot of stuff here. So Living End, Crashing Footfall. Let's see. Look how far Heliod fell. Oh, Humans. Humans is actually making a big comeback. I think their meta is like, I don't know what it is. There's a lot of humans out there. You're going to be playing against a lot of... They've been top 8ing consistent. So not top 8ing. They've been top 32ing consistently in the Modern Challenge. Humans actually, I don't know what it is. Humans making a comeback. Which is good. And that's good for humans. Might be good for merfolk. Because we have a similar... We're in the same sort of same range of what our decks do. Okay, so Chris Ross, what if Wizards of the Coast took everything off the ban list, did a hard reset? Do you think the ban list would end up being the same or different? It would be different. It would definitely be different. It would be a completely different format. No ban list Modern is more balanced than it looks. You just have to ban maybe 2 cards from the list and be fine. I heard that Dark Depths got a lot stronger over the last few years, but you just have to take a few cards off and the rest of the format would be balanced. My guess would be maybe you still ban Ayavugan, maybe Dark Depths. I have to see it in action though. And then maybe Mental Misstep. Outside of that, everything would be fine. I mean, maybe Mental Misstep is also fine, but it's just a stupid card to play against in every single matchup. TCG Chronicle, streamers and content creators are the new pros, and I believe that is how Wizards wants it. They are the new pros, but you can be both. Like, you can be a pro and an ambassador for the game at the same time. It's maybe it's harder for them to do, but like streamers are and content creators are the more people know who the professor is than they know who Reed Duke is. All right, simple as that. I remember going to a local game store and I would talk about certain pros and people were like, well, who's that? And it's well, this guy's has made so many Pro Tour top 8s. You don't know this person? No, I have no idea who this is. So, so how it is. They're not celebrities. They're not as big of a celebrity as you would think they are. The competitive community is much smaller than you would think. It's tiny. It's really tiny. It is a driver, in my opinion, to the players that come out to the local game store, fill up the like F&Ms, though, in my opinion. 27 Noetic. Should prismatic ending be a 4 of if you're at least 3 colors and white? It seems very strong since it's so versatile. Yes. Yes, I think it could be a 4 of even if you're like a 2-color deck. Well, let's look at Azorius control here. How many, let's guess, how many prismatic? 3 prismatic endings in the main deck. And 1 prismatic ending in the sideboard. You have any idea how much shit I got in my comments section? Do you have any idea? I probably am the prismatic ending. I'm probably the top result for prismatic ending because I made a dedicated video.
Hater.
I got and my YouTube analytics say that people just like tune out after like 2 minutes because people did not even want to give the time and day to this card. They did not want to give the time and day to this card. Hold on, let's.
Anything you could do, I could do better. I could do anything better.
Hey, it's Nikachu. Usually, we are trying very hard. Who was on this card from day one? Who was on this card? To deal with the artifacts, deal with the enchantments. We got a little something for the creatures. But Modern Horizons has now gifted us with a card that deals with everything at once. And that is Prismatic Ending, an absolute game changer to removal in Modern. But before we go deeper into this card, love to thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com. Fusion Gaming Online, people. Ending will be an ending to all non-land permanents on the battlefield, but it will not be an end to your
It's a reaction to it's a reaction stream. I'm reacting to my own stream.
Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout. Saves yourself.
Yeah, don't use ad block because I'm trying to support. I support the channels.
This card. Prismatic Ending is a white and X sorcery. It's got Converge, exile target non-land permanent if its mana value is less than or hold on.
I was very proud of this Mr. Clean. And because people leave so early, they don't see my Mr. Clean thing.
Your stovetop oven will be no more because this.
Oh, we gotta hear the whole joke.
Bottom of your bathtub. It will clean the rust off of your bicycle. That grease grime on top of your stovetop oven will be no more because this card is going to exile permanents that cost 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana, potentially 5 mana.
The Grime Zones. They're tough. They're all over the house, and they're about to meet their match. Introducing new Stronger Mr. Clean, now with even more muscle for tough grime, like stovetop grease, mudroom muck, and kids being kids dirt. It all shines clean, because new Mr. Clean muscles under to lift off dirt faster, better than the leading pine cleaner. Mr. Clean takes the tough out of Grime Zones. Everywhere, new Mr. Clean shines through, even better than before.
Now, I don't exactly know.
So I'm very surprised I only have like 11 dislikes because there's so many people that like the card is unplayable. It's not gonna see any play whatsoever. A lot of the good comments raised to the top. Love this card. Well, this is not proving my point. This card is too fair at sorcery for Modern. It's great and flexible, but probably be too slow. I mean, I never received so much adversity to this one card. And look at that. It's an instant staple. It's an instant staple. It's a 4 of now in all the decks. It's a 4 of. Yeah, how to deal with Amulet. And with Ether Vial. Which sucks. I really hate the idea that they can hit my Ether Vial. Yeah, you're right, Merfolk Cricket. So the card is just bananas, in my opinion. I thought it was so good that I had to make a video about it. I guess it's not as flat. It's just not as flashy, people. There's a lot more flashy cards out there. But this is, but like, I think it is such a versatile card. I think it's an instant staple. Not to mention, originally this card was an instant. And Sam Black says, Prismatic Ending at instant speed makes this undoubtedly the best removal spell ever created. Ever created. And here's the deal. You can create an artificial instant speed Prismatic Ending with the help of Teferi Time Raveler. You get your Teferi Time Raveler. Now you can cast your sorceries at instant speed. So then you do have available the most powerful removal spell ever existed. Ever, not in modern, but legacy, vintage, everything. This is the best. This is the best removal spell in the game. Thanks to Fairy Time Raveler, and even without it being an instant speed, I think this card is nuts. I think it's just absolutely fucking bonkers card. Just disgustingly good. Because like most of modern is just 1 mana spells. And then if it is not a 1 mana spell, you deal with anything. Like you don't have to worry. Like where's the disenchant in the sideboard, right? Where's the disenchant? Well, you don't need stuff like that anymore. You just don't need stuff like that because this card just deals with everything. Deals with the art of it's probably a poorly designed card in that way because it just, you know, people are concerned about what counterspell would do for all the other counterspells. Prismatic Ending, just like, you don't need any more singular artifact or enchantment hate unless it's like big enchantment hate, like Tempest of Light, 3 mana, destroy all enchantments. You don't need it anymore because you got Prismatic Ending. Favorite non-Merfolk card from Modern Horizons 2? Counterspell. I mean, if you count that, maybe Prismatic Ending. Do you think Prismatic Ending will lead people to playing more 3 mana Teferi? Probably not more, because you can't have too many. They get clunky in your deck. But anyway, so but maybe Prismatic Ending can help bring an end to 3 mana Teferi. See, Teferi for the most part is pretty fair, but if it's turning Prismatic Ending into something lethal, Wizard will take action. People, Wizards will they always take action. They love to take action. Living End or Spirits? I would go with Spirits. Living End is a powerful deck. Living End is like this deck. Okay, you could always play Spirits more or less. You can always play. You'll get yourself like a good 40. You can guarantee yourself a good 40%. Living End, however, it can either be really good or really bad. So if you're willing to tough it out when you go like 1-4-0-5, you go with Living End. But Living End has big upside potential and it's a very powerful deck. Easily go 4-1-5-0. Easy stuff. It should have been instant speed. Sam once again being a no. He's not ruining things. He's just trying to keep things fair. Here, you want it? Do you want it banned? You don't want it banned. You want it in the meta game. So if it was instant speed, might have got banned. It looked kind of meta in practice. It's nuts. Hey, I spotted immediately this card was nuts, and I made my video, and people didn't appreciate it. It's like, hey, it's pretty good. No. This is like a game changer. I thought it was a real game changer. I thought it was a real game changer. Yes, we all need to subscribe. No offense, but in my opinion, people more likely tuned out because people thought it. No. People most definitely did not think it was already good. Dead Channel says, as an elf player, Yavimaya Cradle of Growth is really nutty with Elvis Champion. Yes, I agree. I think that we should have more Forest Walk. We should change the elf deck to have stuff like that. I think that's cool. Elves should utilize this. The power. They're so lucky to have a Forest Walk creature and like this Yavimaya. They have like a built-in Spreading Seas in their deck. What will the one word, it'll just be called ending or something. Casts an ending at end of turn through Teferi. Does Bros Blitz have a chance of becoming the Blitz deck over Izzet? Probably not. But, well, we'll see. They got some new tools recently. They got Dragon Rage Chandler. Is that what it is? So they got a chance. They have a chance. There's some new tools. I got wiped out by it a few times in leagues. Where'd the music go? Where's our music? Hold on. Where's our music? Oh shoot. Where's my player? Ugh, why did it show up here? VLC, you're awkward. You're too awkward for me. Is this it? No. This is it. Oh shit, is this too loud? Oh, it's at 100%. Sorry about that. Sorry. VLC, I think, adjusts its volume when it when I reopened it. Hope I didn't blow anyone's eardrums. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, you know what time it is now. You heard the music, and the music means Decklist review time. So if you got a 75, you'd like some feedback on, submit it to me. Go into my description. In my description, there's a link to my Discord. Join my Discord. Then when you go to Discord, go to, yeah, RIP headphone users. Unless you like the Wii channel music so much. Go into my Discord. There's a channel called Decklist Review, and there you can submit your 75 using the command !review deck space, give the URL to your deck list, press enter, and you'll be eligible at random for Decklist Review. Also remember, today is Friday, so I will be clearing the queue at the end of the show. So you have to resubmit your deck list if you want it eligible for next week. And as we wait for people to submit their deck lists, we are going to thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. We already saw a sponsor for Fusion Gaming Online through the video. That's all good. We can see it again. Deal of the week this week, 15% off Strixhaven singles and sealed product. That includes the Strixhaven Mystical Archive cards, the gorgeous Mystical Archive cards. So if you want to get your hands on some of these beautiful Japanese cards, super beautiful. I want some of these cards even though I have no need to use them at all. Anyway, they're gorgeous. If you want it 15% off, but if you want an extra deal, hey, use coupon code Nikachu at checkout. Supports the channel and gets you an additional 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. And definitely the place where, I mean, if you want to test out all the new decks in Modern, you know, Hard Scales, Living End, Amulet, you can do that with Mana Traders. Support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 15% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu. I gotta get more Yoshi's Island music. This is good stuff. Yoshi's Island is great. Any Yoshi Island fans out there? Okay, we got Oven. Congratulations, Oven. You're the next contestant on Decklist Review. And this is the longest name I've ever seen for a deck list. Oh, Touch Fuzzy, Get Dizzy. That is classic. Maybe I have to do a Yoshi's Island stream one day. I honestly really want to play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for NES. Only because this is like the only game in my life I've played but not beaten. And I'm like, it feels... my life will feel incomplete if I don't actually beat this game. Oh, Yoshi's Island was fantastic. They don't make the games like they used to. I don't know how to put it. They just don't make them like they used to. Although I feel like, you know, Nintendo still brings out bangers here and there, but it's not the same. It's not the same. So what the hell is this? Budget Delirium Delver. Need help finding a balance between turning on Delirium and flipping Delvers. Please keep suggestions to budget cards according to Magic the Gathering Online prices. Thank you. Great stuff. So people have... I guess the title is the new description. Because I would never say... there is a description section, but sometimes I forget about it. So we do have Delver Secrets, Dragon Rage Chandler, Bloodbraid Marauder. You really want this Delirium? I really think Sprite Dragon is just way better than Bloodbraid Marauder. I don't think you need this. Spell has Cascade as long as there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard. But at that point, if your graveyard is full, because you want to get this out early before you have Delirium. If you get it out later, it's not as impactful. Dragon's Rage Chandler, great card. You can get behind this. Is the music still too loud? We're gonna figure out a system, don't worry. Is that better? Hopefully that's some good stuff. I'm glad there's some Nintendo fans out there. Got some Nintendo fans. Now, if only I could find Nintendo and Apple fans. I feel like my my audience is heavy into just Android devices. Damn it, am I the loner here? I'm the lone Apple fanboy, spending thousands of dollars on Apple garbage. Okay. So, Sprite Dragon, I think, should just... like, I just don't believe in this card, honestly. It's just not that good. This card, however, is just bananas. Just bananas. You see? You see? The haters. Y'all haters. Y'all using crap out there, in my opinion. Oh, have I seen Samsung Sam? I thought that was hilarious. I hope this thing still comes into existence. Samsung Sam is amazing. But maybe, given her debut, she may not show up again. You see, I don't know what it is. Magic players are just... I think I understand. Though it's the whole economics of it all. You Android users don't have enough money for a good quality phone after you've spent all of it on Magic cards. That's the thing. That's the deal. You Android users, you've burned all your money, and what's left, you gotta buy an Android phone. You have no choice. You had the choice between the Underground Sea or... well, I mean, I guess the choice is made for you after you buy the Underground Sea. Whatever's money's left has got to go towards an Android phone. It's just economics. It's simple economics. All right, so Sprite Dragon over Bloodbraid Marauder, in my opinion. I mean, I'm sorry if we're taking out the Delirium strategy synergy. This card is just not that good. It's just not worth it. Like, you're gonna cascade into like a Flame Slash? I think we could do better. You could also accidentally cascade into Counterspell. I don't think Cascade works in this deck very well. Same thing with Disrupting Shoal. Like, these are not things you want to, those are things you don't want to get to. Anyway, so we've got Flame Slash, Lightning Bolt, Serum Visions, Tarfire, Thought Scour, Unholy Heath, Counterspell, Disrupting Shoal, Expressive Iteration, Frantic Inventory. Okay, so one easy way... there's a few ways you can get Delirium online. You got the 4 Thought Scour, that's good. You can't cascade into Counterspell. We can cascade into it, can't you? Well, on this spell, cascades as long as there are 4 more cards among card types. Cast spell, exile the top cards until you hit a non-land card that costs less. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. You can cascade into it. It's just not useful to you. Apple is for people who aren't adventure enough to root their devices. Well, you can root the Apple device, but generally speaking, if you bought an Apple device, you don't want to. Or you just straight up don't know how. But the people who do know how to root their devices, they go the Android route. Because you're going to root the damn thing, make the device as cheap as possible. Okay, so Bauble... oh, Baubles are too expensive. No, but for Magic the Gathering Online prices, all right, let's look at... what is Mishra's Bauble on Magic the Gathering Online? This does not actually help me. Okay, let's open up this. One thing great about MTG Goldfish, they've got the Magic the Gathering Online prices. Oh, fuck me. $40. $40. Oh, God. Oh, I'm already... oh, God. What happened? They both went up. Shit. What the hell is this? I didn't know like Mishra's Bauble was like the new Bitcoin. Okay. So that's not gonna work. Okay, what artifact can we play in this deck that's cheap to use and is still useful? And like we'll add, because like what makes it easy to get Delirium online is if at least you have artifact. Like you can reasonably get... okay, another thing you could do is add 4 more creatures so that when you discard cards with Thought Scour, so that's something we could do. Instead of Counterspell, add 4 more creatures. And probably you should go with Monastery Swiftspear. And I think the 16 creatures is going to be a good number of creatures. You got some Seal of Fires. That's not too bad. Seal of Fire and Seal Removal does help. I think Brainstone is too mana intensive for this deck. Yeah, playset in every single deck. Aspiring Spike doing his job. Okay, so I would. Well, I don't know if you can put the whole 4 entire more creatures in the deck, but the deal is if you have 16 creatures, you increase your chances of discarding one with Dragon's Rage Chandler, and also just getting one in the graveyard with Thought Scour. Because we know there's 3 card types that are going to be easy: instant, sorcery, and land. That's easy. The hard part is getting the artifact or the creature in the graveyard to turn on Delirium. Now you can increase the creature part by playing more creatures. It'll make Delver a little bit worse. You have enchantment here, but maybe you should remove these for creature, because I think that's because we want to maximize the number of spells in the deck for your Delver. So I would actually remove Seal of Fire and removal. I know you want it for your Delirium, but it's not. Do we have Lurrus in here? We don't have Lurrus. Someone was suggesting Lurrus. Matthew Murphy, what's the most powerful cleric card? Is Clerics of Life, Bond, Conclave, Mentor viable? Heart and Scales plus Luminarch Aspirant trying to brew competitive clerics? I don't... Does anyone know what the best cleric card is? What's the most powerful cleric card? I think the most powerful cleric card is that one wherever you gain life, your opponent loses life, but I don't remember what it's called. But it's hard to get online. What is Conclave Mentor? This is a cleric. Clerics of Life's Bond. Oops. This card does not exist. Veto? Is Veto a cleric, or is this a vampire? No, this is a cleric. In my opinion, this is potentially the most powerful cleric, but the build around this card may not look like a cleric deck, because whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. That's pretty outrageous. But if you're trying to build like a deck that is like synergetic with clerics, this one might not be it. But this is like my answer. This is like the most powerful cleric. You could make a Hardened Scales cleric. You could probably make some sort of Hardened Scales cleric deck if you wanted to, though. You probably could make some sort of cleric conclave, like a conclave mentor Hardened Scale thing happening if you wanted. Like that would probably have good synergy. But if you want, like, I think this is more the outright because this card could do big things. It's reasonably costed at 3 mana, but the build around is very difficult. You could probably just look up cleric on like Scryfall, and then based on price, just put all the most expensive clerics, and boom, you might have a deck. Anyway, Anyway, thanks for the super chat. I hope at least that sort of answered your question. How many sorcerers do we have? Instant sorcery. This is pretty good. The Tarfire is not too bad. Serum Visions is fine. I might have more flame slash like stuff. I don't think Smuggler's Copter is okay. It's not too bad, because it can get activated by all our other stuff, but probably we just want to attack with all our other stuff. Maze Mind Tome will be too slow. Way too slow. Okay, so we should have... So instead of... Okay, first off, let's get rid of the counter spells. Let's just get rid of these counter spells. And we'll play... Maybe... Is there not a better, like, sorcery speed? Maybe a second Flame Slash? It's not too bad either, because it can kill Dryad of the Elysian Grove and a lot of bigger creatures, like a 3/4 Tarmogoyf. And let's stick a Lurrus in the sideboard. Unless Lurrus is expensive. Remember, this deck is on a budget. Where is... It's 8 ticks. It's a bit expensive. It's actually not cheap. This deck has to be budget. Oh, the Bloodbraid Marauder is 2 mana. You're right. I can't cast... Oh, you know what? I for some reason I thought Bloodbraid Marauder was like 3 mana. You're right. I can't cascade into this stupid thing. That was a really stupid statement. So you can only hit the 1 mana spells. I still don't like the card. I still don't like the card. But I was visualizing it like a 3 mana card. Cascade at 2 mana? Since when did that happen? Oh, that is not bad. Bomat is a cheap creature that's also an artifact, maybe a consideration. Not a bad card. Let's see. It's probably not that expensive. Bomat Courier. It's probably very acceptable. It's about 59 cents. It's acceptable. It's acceptable. It's a 1 mana artifact that's a creature and artifact. Has haste. Whenever it attacks, exile the top card of your library face down. You can discard your hand and sacrifice Bomat Courier. Put all the cards into your hand. That's not okay. So that could be our creature instead of Seal of Fire, Seal of Removal, and Bloodbraid Marauder, and maybe two of something else, like maybe the counter spells. Yeah, you get the artifact. That's good. It's good stuff. Why is the website so huge? Because I zoom in on it so I can see things like the graphs clearly. Otherwise, it'd be like really small and shrunk down. But I think we need more sorceries. Okay, what are some sorceries you can put in this deck? We have Expressive Iteration. I guess Serum Visions is fine to flip the Delver. And Flame Slash is... Maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough. Tarfire. I'm not in love with this card, to be honest. I know it's got the Goblin part of it to help turn on Delirium, but it's not that good. In fact, it's quite crappy. Look how budget this deck is. This deck costs like 21 ticks. Do you think drafting a modern cube? I actually don't think most cubes cannot beat a modern deck. Ancestral Vision, too slow. Maybe Firebolt. Maybe this is a little bit better because you get 2 sides to it. You get 2 damage, but then you get the flashback for 5 damage if you need to. If we're going all in on Delirium, is there any cards with it? Yeah, just Dragon. Well, specifically Dragon's Rage Channeler. Isn't Magma Spray a instant? Fork Bolt's not too bad, I guess. Fork Bolt. Okay, those are all suggestions. Those are all suggestions. So my final... I guess my final verdict, let's put... Take out 2 Bloodbraid Marauder, add 2 Sprite Dragon, take out the Seal of Fire, Seal of Removal, maybe some counter spells or it's especially Disrupting Shoal since your curve is too low to counter the important stuff. Add 4 Bomat Courier, and then maybe take out some more counter spells, add like Flame Slash and maybe Fork Bolt, or like, what's it called? No, Lava Dart. We want sorceries because we need to find ways of getting sorcery in the graveyard. Do you think Elvish Champion is overpriced? That's probably overpriced. Mishra's Bauble is too expensive. It's like $40. This is a budget deck. Anyway, replace some of the counter spells with like more burn spells. You can have counter spells in this deck, but put them in the sideboard. And if you could ever afford it, bring in... What is this? Unholy Heat. 2 damage to target creature or player. Delirium deals 6 damage instead. That's fine. That's actually a cool card. That's a cool card. This deck might take advantage of Suspend better than Vapor Snag. No, but Vapor Snag is way cheaper. Cleansing Wildfire. This is all good. You can have the counter spells, but put them in the sideboard. I wouldn't have them in the main deck. It's hard. Because you have a lot. You need to have a lot of like. I'll tell you why. You need a lot of sorceries in this deck to turn on your Delirium, or you need enough. And if you're playing things at sorcery speed, you're not holding up counter spells. That's the way I'm looking at it. And you don't need this Fairy Conclave. I don't think that's necessary. That's just gonna slow you down almost always. Just replace this with a land or something. It's just completely. Just play another island. Completely unnecessary. Also, this would get hit by Blood Moon as well. So you actually want the island more than you want the Fairy Conclave. All right. There's that deck list. Running a little bit behind schedule. We had a lot of random discussions in that one. Congratulations, Lanza. You've been chosen. You are the chosen one today. The chosen one, Lanza, for Decklist review. Fetchless blue-red another prowess deck. Or another blue-red deck, I would say. Is it like the S tier of guilds? I feel like I was thinking about making a guild tier list. And it has to be S tier. Just hands down. Oh, in Minneapolis? Nice. Gen Shadow is still a good choice. Gen Shadow strong. Wow, some of you have a lot of lag. A lot of lag. Okay, Swift Spear, Soul Scar Mage, 3 Sprite Dragon, make it 4. 4 Stormwing Entity. Take out the Bedlam Reveler, put the Sprite Dragon. Sprite Dragon is just like... In my opinion, it's like the best card in the deck. It's got evasion, it permanently gets large. It's just nuts. Welcome, Cora. Okay, so we got Crash Through, Lava Dart, Lightning Bolt, 3 Mutagenic Growth, 2 Wild Slash. Remember, if you control a creature, power 4 or greater, damage can't be prevented this turn. Screw you, Oriok Champion. Expressive Iteration, Manamorphose, Fiery Islet, 7 Mountains, Spiral Bluff Canal, Steam Vents, 2 Dispel on the sideboard, Soul Guide Lantern, Stern Dismissal, Abrade, Pillage. That's a lot of pillages. You don't want to... Do you not want to, like, maybe diversify a few with, what's the 2-mana one? Cleansing Wildfire? Destroy target artifact or land. Because if you're on the draw versus Eldrazi, Tron, or Tron, or even versus Amulet, well, I'll have to admit, Cleansing Wildfire is not that good versus Amulet. Also, is Pillage better than, say... Oh, no, yeah, Pillage is better than, what's it called? The creature that destroys non-basic lands. Yeah, fetches are definitely less important. Fetches are definitely less important in this deck. I mean, you can play it like a mono red deck almost. How much uses blue? You have 4... You have 12 blue sources, and you have 4 Manamorphose. This is an excellent budget deck for the most part. Pillage, Bedlam Reveler. Return target creature or enchantment opponent controls to its owner's hand. What enchantments are you trying to beat? Maybe Heliod? I guess so. Maybe Heliod. Well, if they're playing Pillage, they want to beat the big mana decks. For like, that's just what they're doing. That's their plan. If they want, this is what they want for Artifact Hate. That's how it's going to be. But for the most part, I have no real feedback. You know, I mean, you don't even need to add the Sprite Dragon if you don't want to. It's my personal preference. I think this card is broken. I don't know if I've ever seen a single Izzet Prowess deck play less than 4. But maybe I'm mistaken. See, here's 4. Let's see the percentage of Sprite Dragon. Oh, 3.8 in 98% of decks. It looks like sometimes people are not as confident in the Sprite Dragon, but it looks like a 4-0 to me. It's pretty damn close to it. I'm guessing this is one of those part of whatever this is part of that 2% that decide to deviate with the Bedlam Reveler. But the deck is great. This deck is great. You could just keep it as is. You could run it. Nothing big. Alpine Moon to kill Urza Saga or not Blood Moon. That's actually that's a good point. That's not like, if I might diversify 2 Pillages to 2 Cleansing Wildfires, so you can deal with Tron lands on turn 2, and you like when you're on the draw, you can deal with Tron lands on turn 2, and you can deal with what's its face? Urza Saga. Unless this is a bad idea on the draw. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you just have to try to race them on the draw. First Noise says, I can't stay since I'm at work, but will this be uploaded to the other channel? Absolutely. It will be uploaded to the other channel because it is for Coffee and MTG, and this is the time that I announce that if you want to watch the replay, you can go to Nikachu MTG Streams, my alternate YouTube channel. If I didn't get your comments, questions, or deck list, don't worry, we do this Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. If you want to support the channel and you don't already, you could always drop a sub at twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. You can become a patron at patreon.com, or you can hit the join button on YouTube. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today. We had a lot of fun as usual. Fun talking about Prismatic ending, a loss of $750,000 to the pro players. They must be pissed. Some people are saying, can they sue? Aspiring Spike had a post. Can the pro players sue? Probably not. You know, those big companies, they've got their asses covered all the time. $1 million pending what Hasbro really wants to do with the money, basically. I'm sure the pandemic had some part to play in their decision to withdraw that money. But anyway, thank you very much for making me a part of your daily routine. And as usual, keep brewing up that coffee. We'll keep brewing up magic. See you guys next time.